Okay, in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to continue our AWS Connect Contact Center training. And right now we're looking at Contact Lens. And we're going through each item in Contact Lens, trying to understand the functionality that's offered to us. So if you're in your Amazon Connect instance, right now I'm logged in. Right now I'm logged in as the AWS Connect admin. Basically, what you could do is go to Analytics and Optimization, and you could look at contact lens and different items in contact lens. Now, what we were doing is we went through each one of these, and it turns out that there's some dependencies here, possible dependencies here, where you could use evaluation forms, could use rules and things like that. But right now, let's just look into rules and just trying to expand our knowledge on rules. So what we've done is we've created a couple of rules. And so what you the landing page here just basically shows you different rules, and you can pick rules that you can create for different um, aspects of contact lens. So so we're focusing on the contact lens post call, post chat, real time call. In particular, let's take a look at post call. So, so the bottom line is we created uh, a rule here called cancel. Now, cancel. When I went to cancel, I chose that the contact lens post call analysis is available. I said if all of these conditions are met, um, and the word phrases that I chose were any of the following words or phrases were mentioned during the entire length of the contact where the participant was customer. So what I'm trying to do is trying to list some phrases. If the customer says cancel, remove my account, I'm very upset, anything that would trigger an alarm that this customer is very unhappy and his sentiment is very low and he's ready to cancel the account. We could add these phrases here and and um, generate this rule. So what we did was we did that, and so I could add any phrase I want over here. But what? Let's do this. Let's go and let's go back to what we were looking at, and so that was the cancel that I created a rule, and I was trying to create a cancel rule. And I wasn't too good at it. I just put a couple of words and phrases there that might have categorized the call, but I didn't do that great of a job. So, and now I have another rule here called Weasel, and I basically let me go back to cancel. For cancel, basically what I did is I set some actions. I assigned a category, and the category was cancel or something like that. And then I set an email notification action. So I would send an email notification to, I'm going to say, a QA agent. And even when I define this, I basically just pointed to the agent. I don't know whether that agent has an email, whether it's verified, and all that other stuff. So there was that aspect of it, and I did this as the AWS admin, not the AWS Connect um, admin. So so this doesn't look good. I'm going to let me see if I can get rid of this. Did I? I don't know whether I'm having trouble doing this, but let's see if it went away. It did not. Let me go over here and just remove it from here. Remove. Okay, so what I wanted to show you was something a little bit different. Now notice up here I'm trying to define a rule. And here I defined weasel. Let me get rid of this as well. But yeah, let me just do that. Let me remove that one. Okay, now I have no rules. So what I want to do is first let's create a rule, and I'll show you how to create a rule. So let's see. Conversational analytics is my um, topic. I'm going to do a post call because it's eh, it's simpler. And basically, what I'm going to say, if any of these conditions are met. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to categorize a call, right? So basically what I'm going to say, based on the agent doing certain things or the customer doing saying certain things, I'm going to categorize this call in this way. The QA agent has categorized certain calls, like, oh, this is a call where a customer is going to cancel, or this is a call where there was a lot of idle time. So that's what we're trying to do. So let me just add a condition here. Let me just go to agents, uh, and so let me go back. No matches found. Yeah, this is a problem. I don't think my agents have the proper security profile, but let's go and add something else. Okay, and then we're faced with this UI where we're saying, okay, any of the following words or phrases were mentioned during the entire length of the contact where the participant was, let's say, customer. Now, I have two options here. One is I could enter the keywords and phrases. Let's go through that first option. Cancel my service. Okay, please remove my subscription. And I could go on and add phrases here. So let me just finish this up and go next. Um, Now I'm going to assign a category, and I could assign uh, cancel subscription. I'm going to do save and publish. So this is a rule. This is a rule I have, um, and basically it's going to sort of categorize a call. If a customer says cancel my subscription or cancel my service or cancel anything, cancels in the transcribed text, then basically this call would be categorized. So in some sense, the QA agent can search for potential cancel subscriptions by looking for calls that satisfy this rule or categorized this way. So that was the goal of this. Now I'm going to remove this, and now I'm going to show you something easier, right? So notice here there's word collections, and what we're given is a bunch of possible collection names that I could use. Okay, let's see if one of them shows up as cancellation. And I don't see it, but I do see escalation there. So let's see what's an escalation. I don't see anything yet that says anything about canceling. And notice I could duplicate this and create my own collection. And so let's go back and see what else is here. Weasel words, repeat call, refund, credit, promise. So there's some good collections here that you could reuse. Let's see what's in this dissatisfaction category. Oh, here it is, cancellation right here. So here's some words. Can I end my subscription? I want to cancel my account. And so these are all the words that are used that I could reuse. Okay, so let me go back. So this is what I want, cancellation. So I go back to word collections. I go to rules. I create a rule, and I'm going to use this during my, I'm going to say post analysis. And I'm going to say any of these conditions. I'm going to just go for this one right now. So any of the following words or phrases were mentioned during the entire length of the contact where participant was customer. Now what I do is instead of entering the keyword phrases, I import them. And I go to cancellation and I add. And now these are all my words that are, these are all my phrases that are categorizing a cancellation. Which means if there's a call, there's a customer talking to an agent, and if the customer says, I want to cancel my account, can I end my subscription? I want to terminate my membership. These are all customer phrases that categorize the call. So in this rule, we classify the call as a cancellation. And so if a QA agent is searching for calls, they could search by cancellation. Which calls were the customers trying to cancel? Now, the thing I find interesting is when I did it, I put cancel as a keyword. So if the customer says cancel at all during the call, I kind of I kind of do that. I categorize the call as a cancellation. But anyway, let's move forward with this and let's see. Now I'm going to categorize this as cancel. And so what I'm doing is I'm making up a category called cancel with those keywords. I'm going to save and publish it. Okay, so this is a rule named cancel. I assigned the category, and the AWS connected min was the one who created it. This AWS connected min, you could view them as a QA agent, which is just making sure that they could create these valuation roles and categorizations and basically enable a system to be really user friendly so that QA agents can search for possible cancellations. Now, the other thing you got to realize is this is like was a post call, and the post call is after the call. If I did a real time call, then once the call gets triggered with this rule with this category, we could alarm the QA agent or the supervisor or the call center manager, whatever we want, whoever we want to notify, to jump in on the call. So that's another reason why you would do something like this. So just remember, you've got you've got these things. Let's create another one, and something. Let me see if I could. Um, Let me see if I could find it over here. And what I want to do, oh yeah, hold time. We want to check out the hold time, right? The longest hold time. And we want it to be greater than or equal to, let's say, minutes. I'm going to say 10 minutes. So what we're doing is we're creating a rule that if I'm going to make this less because that's really not tolerable anyway. So um, let's say if it's 5 minutes, okay. If the user's on hold for more than 5 minutes, we want to trigger an alarm alert. Now I am doing a post call, but so the best we're going to do here, this is not a real time call. The best we're going to do here is analyze this from a post call analysis and maybe evaluate that agent with an evaluation form and say, hey, he had the user holding on for more than 5 minutes. He's going to get a lower score in his ratings, etc. So, but since this is a post call, we can search for these categories and see which agents had customers on hold longer than 5 minutes. So let's do this. And now the category name is high high hold time. I'm going to save this. So what do we got? We got a post call analysis. We got hold time greater than 5 minutes. Then we categorize this as a high hold time, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now let's save it. And now we have another rule. So where are we going with this? We're going to do some evaluation forms later, and I'm going to say, look, if the agent has a high hold time, he's asking the customer to hold more than 5 minutes, and I might want to uh, rate them a certain way. Um, so their rating would go down. Um, if a customer wants to cancel, then what I'd probably want to do is look at their sentiment and see that when the user got on the phone, he wanted to cancel, but then the agent got him to not cancel and improved his sentiment value, in which case he would get evaluated very well. So it's just some rules. And like I said, if we did something like a real-time call, let's see what would come up here. Oh yeah, so I have an escalation here, a real-time call. I created an escalation. I used the escalation phrases. Let me see. Yeah, I used all the escalation phrases in the collection, and I made this real time. And the reason why is if the customer wants to speak to a supervisor or wants to speak to a manager, that customer is escalating his call. And so what we did was we imported the file, um, the escalation file from the collections, and we used that right out of the box. So let me see where this went. Yeah, so oh, what I did here, which I didn't follow through with this, but what I did here is at the moment, when there's an escalation, what I also do is generate an event bridge event. I called it escalation. It triggers an event in Event Bridge, and the Lambda gets triggered. Um, and so the goal was to do something during that escalation. So I don't know what I'm doing yet, and so integrating the agent on the call with the customer and the supervisor who's going to get notified immediately when someone asks for a notification. I haven't really followed through on that yet, but that's the intention here. So we'll take a look at that some other time. And so here's the summary of this. And I imagine, I hope I don't have to do this, but what I imagine is when the customer asks for an escalation, a Lambda gets triggered, and I notify a supervisor to join the call. But I hope I don't have to do any custom work with that. That should be out of the box. So let me see if I save and publish. Yeah, so that's what I have here. So once again, before you start doing your work, you should look at what's out of the box here because a lot of things here are very interesting. Poor quality. Let's see what happens. There's a lot of static on the line. I can't hear you. So these are important because um and you could add to these and duplicate it or do whatever you want to do in it. But there are some poor quality issues with headsets and things like that. So it's good to look at these things to see what's here. Now there's also a greeting here, which was important, and if you train your agents, then they would be required to say certain things. And so the agent needs to know what to say. The agent needs to understand who's calling, what what the call is about. Greet the user properly. Understand that the user is a platinum member, whatever about valued customer phrases. Good morning, good afternoon, welcome. What can I do for you today? And thanks for calling. So there's some phrases here that the agent should say. And so the thing is, training your agents, making sure they're aware of this, and also once they find out that they're getting scored, evaluated based on some of these greetings, then then um, then that's also very important. So anyway, this is really all I wanted to do today for rules. So I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for joining. And we'll move forward with putting this all together soon.